I say this all the time, and I mean it. My kids will not be the reason for my marriage to fail. I love being a mother. Lord knows I do. I love my kids. Lord knows I do. But when it comes to me and my husband, and then you got them kids, oh, baby, we coming together as a force. And one thing them kids gonna do, they gonna try to play you against each other. In our household, this is what we do. If one parent got an issue with a kid, the other parent who don't quite have that issue is still pulling up with that other parent to address the situation, because they're going to see two parents coming together right at their behinds, and they ain't going to be no playing each other against each other. Think of it this way. When your kids graduate and they go off to live their lives, and you and your spouse done broke it off because of that kid, oh, baby, I need my man. LL Cool J said it best. I need love.
Nah, she's right. And probably for two reasons. And only one of them she addressed. She addressed the first reason, and that, you're going to be with this person forever. And actually, for three reasons. You're going to be with this person forever. And so that kid is going to go off and live their life. And you're still going to have to respect and hold on to whatever it is that you went through before, because that's going to influence the direction that your relationship is going in going forward. The second reason is you have to be a unified force, because kids are very smart and they will try to play you against each other. I think it's a little bit different of a dynamic in a stepmother-stepfather relationship, and I'll deal with that shortly. But the kids will try to always get the best possible outcome, and they know which parent that they can ask depending on what they're looking for. That's number two. Number three, this shows that she actually respects her husband, right? Because she's not going to undermine her husband. She's not going to try to usurp his authority. She's not going to try to go behind his back or whatever. She's going to show, and hopefully the child actually understands that. If it's a female child, then the child will ultimately seek what it is that they see in a father. If it's a male child, they'll understand what authority looks like. But to emasculate the father or to undermine his authority to try to make it seem like he doesn't know what he's talking about, then that absolutely does more damage than good. And then here's the other part of it. If you want to handle it, or if you disagree with the person, then you handle that behind the scenes, and then you come out again as a unified force, or you reset, and then you take care of business as a group. But you never undermine the authority of the man of the house, because it could have severe consequences for a lifetime for the child. Now, I know a lot of people don't understand that, because when I read the comments of this video, and again, I appreciate y'all for sending me the video. The link will be in the description, because I always like to give credit where credit is due. Again, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. We just recently did a live stream that I re-uploaded for you guys to be able to check out, just in case you missed it. I seen a lot of comments of people that were basically saying, yo, no, Anton. Well, they didn't say Anton, but it was a previous video that I did where the people disagree with me in the comments. But then when I read this comment section, they was basically like, no, my kids come first. It's always going to be kids above everything. And that could seem like the right decision, but it's absolutely the wrong decision. Now, let me tap into something really quickly as far as a step baby daddy issue. And this is another reason why it's very, very much a bad idea to play another man's save game. Because then you can start to understand why she would say that my kids come first if it's not the biological child. Well, what does that look like, Anton? That looks like you trying to step in and have some level of authority for a child that you don't even know. You didn't birth them. You don't have no tie to them. They probably call you John instead of dad, which I can't see any of. If I had a child and, another guy was in the space of what would be my former baby mama, then I could not see any man coming in and having some level of authority over my child. I don't even trust no man. I don't trust no adult to be with my child by themselves, let alone some random man that's having an interest in, your former or your baby mama, and then they get the hell out of here. Like, it just, for me, it doesn't even sound right. I don't even understand how people co-parent, quote unquote, co-parent effectively, because that's always in the back of my mind. It would always make me conflicted, and it I can only imagine the additional damage that it would do to the child also, because that's your father, but who is this dude trying to tell me what to do? I don't know you, and you ain't my daddy. And as soon as they say that, it's over. It's over. It ain't even no level of respect in that. You can't come in, especially if the kid is 10, 11, 12 years old and all of that. They don't know you. Says, man, get the hell up out of here. So I can understand it from a woman's perspective. Understand it doesn't mean it is right, because if you get with a man, and this is why you need to go back with your baby daddy, I can understand it because, you know, this is a new guy and that ain't his kids. And so, you're gonna at first be protective over your kids, but then if at some point y'all get married, then that means that he is the head of the household and the buck stops with him, and you still have to maintain a unified front. You got to cleave to your spouse or your husband, and the kids will follow. And so a lot of times that just means that you have to vet for the absolute right person. And it's always gonna be a simp somewhere, right? It's always gonna be a dude that's willing to pick up the pieces and feel like he a hero because somehow, some way he feels like he doing some community service and he's saving the community. No, you just a sucker. You just a sucker. Honest to God, you just a sucker. And I'm never going for it. I will never advocate for somebody to do something that I wouldn't do. You just a sucker. But with you being a sucker, you also have to understand that she's probably going to choose her kids every single time over you. And her valid reason is she's known her kids more than you, longer than you. She has to first be protective over her kids above you. And that's always going to be more beneficial for the kids, in her opinion. And if you don't get on board with doing what she says when she governs her kid, then you might as well hit the door, because you're never going to have no respect in that household. And you still may have to deal with the repercussions of him, of the original biological child's father at some point playing a much bigger role, if they're not already involved in that kid's life. So, in my personal opinion, I think that she's right. I think that she's absolutely accurate. I think she's playing it correctly. It also shows a level of respect, extreme amount of respect, which most people are leaning into for their spouse. And you cannot and will not disrespect the man in front of the kid, nor will you usurp his authority and say what the kid can do behind his back, because that's the ultimate form of disrespect, and they're going to feel like they can get away with that. And what happens when they come to you and then you say, no, your father is right, then they really not going to fuck with you, and then you're going to be feeling some type of way because they're going to call you out on your BS. And then it's going to create even more of a problem inside of your household. And the last thing that you want is for a man to not feel respected, because if he don't feel respected, then that means that he's not going to have the same level of reverence for you as a woman, and then you're not going to be the beneficiary of his greatness, because you're going to mess that up, and it's going to forever be up from there. That's just my opinion. Let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.